I gained 139,000 perfectly niche aligned followers, and it actually hurt my first business. Here's how to make sure that the next time you go viral, it actually turns into the customers that you want, not just likes on your posts. So I was a fitness coach, and my niche, my demographic, the guy that I wanted to work with, my dream customer who I'd written out, 5-page niche documents about, was a naturally skinnier guy who wanted to build muscle in between the age of like 19 and 26. Okay, so a relatively younger guy. And my business was going great. I was in uni, I was studying maths and physics, I was really busy, I was doing a bodybuilding prep, but I was still managing to do 5K months with 30 dream aligned clients that I loved working with, but I only had 3,000 followers. And in my mind, I was thinking to myself, wow, things are going great right now. My retention is like upwards of 8 months. I love who I'm working with. All I need to do is just turn the tap on. I just need to turn the tap on. If I could just get one video that went really viral and boosted everything up, I'd get more clients, I'd make more money, everything would be great. Let's do it. And so I invested in a course, or I used a course, a blueprint to go viral. And I'd heard horror stories, right, about going viral with the wrong people, and that leading to then your business really struggling because you'd gone viral and gained like 50,000 women, and you're a male testosterone coach, and it's like, fuck, I can't sell anything and nobody likes my posts anymore. I just posted this one meme that went viral, I gained a load of followers, that killed my page. So I was really careful, and I thought I was doing everything right. I was really careful about how I put these videos together, who I spoke to, and making sure that it was just guys in between the ages of 20 and 25 who wanted to build muscle that would watch these videos. So in my mind, I was going, right, my niche, they want to be building muscle, they want to be gaining weight, they want to be doing this. Okay, cool. And I made a video that opened with, here's me after eating 500 grams of potato. And it highlights one of the biggest reasons why skinny guys struggle to gain weight. On first sight, I thought that's perfect. That's speaking to somebody, it's opening a loop in their mind because they don't know why the potatoes are relevant. They don't have the answer straight away. And it's talking to my ideal client, right? My ideal niche, the guy who is naturally skinnier, wanting to gain weight, wanting to build muscle. Perfect. That video got 8 million views and gained me 40,000 followers, I think. And it barely turned into any clients. Here's what happened, okay? So when I saw my videos started to go viral, I changed my offer from one-to-one coaching to something that's more scalable, which was a great move. Great move. By the way, from this, I don't really criticize or look back on this as a failure. I'm looking back on this as a huge lesson. I would never have known these things if I hadn't gone so wrong. But gained a load of followers. I then changed my offer to something that was £30 a month, and people could go in, and they didn't have one-to-one time with me. There was just calls, and it was a little bit more scalable, and it gave them all the tools themselves to be able to kind of answer their questions, so that I didn't have to one-to-one handhold all of my clients and look through their meal plans, give them all the resources. I made a automatic bulking spreadsheet. Oops, I've just honked way too early and now he's annoyed. We snuck past, we did good. Anyway, so I made my offer scalable. I made recipe videos that catered for every supermarket in the UK, meal prep shopping lists. So everything was like automated, everything could be put in there. Somebody just had to dive in and do it. And 132 people jumped in the first month and a half. So I added about 4K to my monthly recurring revenue, which was amazing. I thought, this is it. Things are blowing up. This is amazing. But then in that group, the questions and the level of question and the level of interaction and the level of client that was coming in didn't match who I was trying to speak to. So as I said, I was trying to speak to a guy who was interested in bodybuilding, wanted to build muscle. He was already striving for it. He didn't miss gym sessions. He didn't miss any meals. He tracked his intake every single day. He just wanted to optimize shit. That's who I wanted to speak to, okay? But the questions I was getting asked in that group were, oh, is anyone else struggling with motivation? Anyone else struggling? I can't kick myself up the ass. Is anyone else? I'm struggling to hit my calorie targets. Guys who were only needing to eat 2,200 calories to gain weight. I was having to eat 4,500, and I was like, this is hard. They were like, I'm eating 1,800. This is so hard. I was like, wait, what? And it's because of this thing that I realized in my head, okay? I was speaking to a niche, not speaking to an identity. That was the first mistake I made. There was a second mistake I made, which I'm gonna do right this time, which is I went viral before I was ready to go viral. And that's a mistake I'm never gonna make again. I didn't have the systems in place. I'll go through that all in a second, because if you go viral without anywhere to actually push people, or go viral with a specific intention, you are literally wasting your fucking time. But what happened in this community is it went up to 4K per month initially. I had 132 people in there. They were getting great results using resources, but then the more I call to action did, the more I spoke about it, the numbers just kept dipping. It went from 130 to 120, 110. And I started going, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Like, I've gone viral. I can keep talking about it. I've got 140,000 followers. Why aren't people jumping in? Why isn't this growing? Why aren't people getting great results from this? I was looking at my followers every single day, and it was all men in between age 20, 25. I had nailed my demographic, my niche, to the fucking T. But the one mistake that I had made is I spoke to a man in disempowerment. Notice the word that I put in that video that got 8 million views. And if you're struggling to gain weight, drop me a follow. Well, guess who dropped me a follow? Guys who were struggling to gain weight. Not guys who wanted to build muscle. Guys who were struggling to gain weight. I spoke to someone in pain. I was a painkiller. They thought by following me, I was going to solve their pain. They had not solved it themselves. They were in pain and they were looking for a solution, right? They were not wanting to optimize. They were not wanting something, they were needing it. And so when they came in, guess what? They were needy fucking clients, right? And I'm not saying every single one of them that joined was a needy client, but the vast majority of them were. And one thing I want to make abundantly clear here is it was completely my fault. And this is the biggest lesson I've taken from this is I spoke to that person, I enabled that person, I attracted that person. It's how it works. With just one word in a reel, if you speak to somebody who's in disempowerment, who is in pain, who is struggling, then you're going to have clients that are in pain, struggling, and expecting you to fix all of their problems and wait on them hand and foot, like whatever the saying is. That's just what's going to happen. But I didn't realize that at the time. And so I was racking my brains going, whoa, I had 175,000 followers at one point, right? And going, why aren't people getting incredible results inside here? Why are people saying it's too expensive when it was £30 a month, less than £1 a day, and it had everything in there that's needed to put on 15 kilos of muscle in 3 years, naturally, with the least amount of stress, with every shopping list written for you, with every spreadsheet made. You just literally had to turn up and put the data in, all in there. People weren't getting a result. And secondly, I was unfulfilled in my work because people weren't getting a result. And also they were just commoditizing me hugely on price because they didn't want what I was selling, they needed it. So I spoke to a niche, not an identity. That's the first mistake that I made, right? I spoke to someone in disempowerment, and when you do that, you get people in disempowerment, and that's not who you want to be working with. So that's the first mistake I made. And the second mistake I made was I went viral before I had the systems ready to go viral, okay? So I was getting, here we go, we're home. I was getting, every time I refresh my page on Instagram, I was getting like 10 new ManyChat responses, 10 new ManyChat responses, 10 new ManyChat responses. The emails were being collected automatically and they were getting put on my app. So it's collecting the emails, putting them on there, amazing. But that's where my systems ended. And so every time I posted a video, sure, their emails would get collected, but then the conversation would just die. And I've got so many people on my Instagram that have just they've triggered this lead magnet, got the lead magnet, and then I disappeared. Okay, bye now, bye. There's your thing, bye now. I didn't have a conversation flow set up with them, which could have boosted engagement even further. I didn't have a product that I was sending them to. I didn't know where I was sending them. So they were just going, yeah, me, I want this. Okay, give me your email. Yeah, sure, I'll give you your email. Oh, funny cat reel, and then disappearing. There was no system set up to actually collect them, turn them into a customer. There was no email sequences made to nurture them once they'd set up. There was no retargeting ManyChat funnel, which would then reach back out to them or position them to see which offer was best for them to lead them into the next thing. There was no systems. And so I was there stressing my brain out 4 hours a day, answering fucking DMs and going, oh my, have this. And then I got to a point where I couldn't filter out the great possible clients from the bad ones because I was spending all day just sending off these automatic robotic messages, and people were like, is this a robot? I'm like, it's literally me, but I can't personalize so many messages because I couldn't keep up with them. So 2 mistakes. If you want to go viral and you actually want it to grow your fucking business, build the systems before you go viral and know where you're sending people to before you make that video. I can teach you how to go viral afterwards, but I'm not going to make that video for you, right? I'm not going to make that video for you before you've done this, because these 2 steps are more important. So number 1, have the systems in place so when your video does blow up, which you can predict. You can make that happen, right? You can make that happen. You know where you're sending people to, you know the offer you're going to push people into, and you've got the system set up to nurture them. You've got the system set up to collect their ManyChats and actually carry the conversation on, and like actually have a system that filters people out, whether they're going to be a good customer, a dream customer for you who is wanting something, and feeding them into that product, getting their email, retargeting them via email, retargeting them via ManyChat. If you've got an actual a funnel page to send them to where there's multi-steps and upsells and downsells, get that shit built out first before you go viral. Get that shit built out and make it good. Don't just half-ass it, make it good, because if you build it once, it's there forever. Okay, but build that shit out first, please. Number one. Number two is don't talk to a niche. Do not talk to a niche. Do not talk to a niche. Because if you can talk to a niche perfectly, I can speak to 20 to 25-year-old guys that want to build muscle and gain weight absolutely perfectly and attract millions of them. If their mindset isn't right, and if they're not in an empowered state where they want something, where you activate them and show them what the identity they could have is, and you're speaking to the identity they want to be, and they are aligning with that and going, fuck yeah, I'm going to drop them a follow. I want to learn how to maximize this shit, right? Yes, I'm in. I want this. If you don't know how to do that yet, don't go viral. Because what you'll end up doing is you'll speak to, well, if you're struggling with this thing, drop me a follow and I'll be able to help. And they're in disempowerment. They're going to compare you for price for the next person. They're going to ask for more of your time. They're going to see you. My girlfriend says this all the time in her business. They're not going to see you as a mentor, a leader, as somebody who leads and they follow. They're going to see you as a fucking painkiller. And man, if you've got your own business, do you want to know what will suck the life out of you quicker than anything? Being a painkiller, not a leader. Not somebody who's a visionary, who's enjoying who they work with. They will see you as a painkiller. They will come to you when they are in pain. They will want more of your time. They will compare you with other people on price. They will compare how much access they get. They will compare the features. They will not just follow you because of who you are and what you're doing and how authentic you are. So speak to an identity. Speak to the identity they want to step into. Speak to the empowered state. Say, and if you want to learn how to maximize your growth so that you can be the best bodybuilder you possibly can and create a physique that you're proud of, then drop me a follow. And if you're struggling to get your calories down every single day, then drop me a follow and I'll give you my recipes that will fix that for you, no questions asked. There's a difference. Notice it. Do not fuck that up. So, hopefully this is useful. I'm going to be posting more videos like this soon. Hopefully this is useful. Any questions, drop them in the comments below. See ya.